Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here. And joining me for this is one of my partners in crime. Usually we're doing wrestling stuff together, but yeah, we're doing something a little different. Dizzy's joining me from Rambling About Wrestling podcast. How you doing, brother?
Well, honestly, man, I wish I could say I was better, but doing okay. How are you, man?
Yeah, about the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not here for anything super positive. We're paying tribute to someone who, in the last 24 hours has been called everything from inspirational to legendary.
Pioneer.
Yeah, pioneer in a music, in part of the
Cause,
music industry that changed it, 20 some years ago.
'Cause it's true.
It is, and it's funny that yeah, I was actually doing a tribute. I was
Hmm.
recording one earlier, and you actually messaged me while I was doing it. Uh,
Great minds think alike, Jason.
yeah, yes. I must have been channeling something here.
Right.
um, what what are your initial thoughts, and then I'll share some of mine. What are your initial thoughts on waking up to this news today, man?
you, you know, I mean, I've been a fan of Soundgarden and Chris Cornell for a long time, and it started when Super Unknown. That's when I was, that's when they were brought to my attention. That's when I was like listening to them when I was a teenager. So I'm a huge music nut. So I listen to almost every single album that Soundgarden or Audio Slave or Chris Cornell solo project ever put out, man. And my initial reaction to this was I didn't have one. I was speechless. Uh,
Shock.
yeah, the initial reaction was a shock. I'm like, what? Because I woke up this morning and I looked at my phone. Normally I just look at my phone, see what time it is. Oh, it's 6:45. I don't want to get up, take a shower, eat breakfast, and my fiance leaves to go to work, and I'm sitting on the chair, right? Just waiting for the time for me to leave. And I look at my phone, and I saw a notification, but my phone, like, it disappeared off of my phone, and I pulled the drop down menu down, and I saw that Chris Cornell had passed away, and my whole body just went, like, it froze.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it sucks, man. I
it does.
my initial reaction getting it late last night before I crashed between 3 and 4, shed a few tears over the news because I got it so late, like right when everybody hit when it hit everyone initially.
Right.
Um, and my first thought, and I said something to the same effect on when I was recording mine earlier, which
Hmm.
I'm not going to put out. I'll just do this. Um, I can't say that Soundgarden was ever one of my favorite bands because if you follow my channel, you know what I listen to.
Hmm.
I listen to a whole mix of stuff,
Hmm.
modern and classic, but lately I've been listening to a lot of classic rock, 80s rock, pop glam stuff. And, you
Hmm.
know, when all of my favorite stuff back in the early 90s started fading away and there was a surge of grunge that like pushed it out the door,
Yep.
I I, being slightly older than you, had the thoughts of, oh man, this sucks,
Were you bitter?
I was. I
Yeah.
was. I was one of those metalheads that was like, I was like, watching Headbangers Ball and then watching like stuff like Nirvana, from Slovakia. No,
Look, man, I
watching,
know you're bitter, but don't mess up their name. Come
yeah,
on.
Nirvansky. No, no.
Yeah.
Watching Nirvana and Soundgarden and all these other grunge bands just
Pearl
slowly
Jam, Alice
trickle.
in Chains.
Yeah, well, even before Pearl Jam, now one that I actually fell in love with was Mother Love Bone.
Yes, Mother Love Bone was, yeah, that was awesome. Awesome stuff.
They were so different because they were out of that Seattle scene, but they were like hippie love rock with
Yeah,
a just a pinch of grunge.
right.
And they were a flash in the pan, but the stuff they put out was so tremendous. And out of that came the tribute Temple of the Dog. Temple
Yes.
of the Dog and the first couple CDs of Soundgarden are what I personally identify with when I think of Soundgarden.
Right.
Because I know everyone is posting tributes of their favorite songs from Chris Cornell, whatever band it was. 90% of the stuff I'm seeing, which I shouldn't say I chuckle at, but is Black Hole Sun.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you posted that. And I was like, oh, Black Hole Sun. I Now let me just back that up before everyone starts ridiculing my reaction to that. Milwaukee radio sucks, okay?
Okay.
We hear Black Hole Sun around here 20 times a day.
Hmm.
So if I never hear that song again, I get so sick, dude. I get so sick of hearing some of those Soundgarden songs because I play them all the freaking time. When
Hmm.
I want to hear Soundgarden, I go like I said, I go back to the stuff before that. Loud Love, Temple of the Dog. I was going through. And I'm glad we're doing this now because I found stuff between me recording what I recorded and what we're doing now.
Hmm.
The Singles soundtrack that came out in '93. That that was one of those rare gems where the soundtrack was actually better than the movie.
Which movie are you talking about?
Singles.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, I have that on my phone, dude. Yeah. That
Good.
that soundtrack was badass.
Chris Cornell has a song on there that I have not heard in decades that I was pleasantly reminded of how good he is. And I
If
believe
you
it's called Seasons, I believe. Go check it out
Yeah.
if you haven't heard it.
If you look, man, I mean, if you're like jaded by the whole, Black Hole Sun Super Unknown album, you should literally go listen to like Louder Than Love. You should go listen to Bad Motorfinger. You should listen to Ultra Mega OK back in '88. Those are the albums that actually made them, who they are. I mean, they came from such a saturated era. You're exactly right. When hair metal was out and flannel was in, the grunge scene was like, yeah, exactly. The grunge scene was like, it hit hard. When it hit hard because you not only had, Soundgarden, you not only had Stone Temple Pilots, you had Pearl Jam, you had Alice in Chains, you had all Nirvana, you had all of these bands,
They were going
and
top 40.
they were going top 40 real quick because everybody wanted to hear grunge. But the one band that really just stuck out was Chris Cornell. I mean, he was a super humble dude. And if you go back and you listen to Temple of the Dog, vocals from, the vocal meshing between Chris Cornell and Eddie Vedder was fucking phenomenal, man. There will never be another Chris Cornell ever. That dude could sing. He could sing the fucking ABCs, and I would be just completely happy.
That
Like
was
seriously.
It's interesting because I read a bunch of opinions and notes from stuff. That was the introduction to Eddie Vader.
Vedder,
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 excuse me.
not wrestling. Right.
Not that Vader. Vedder.
Or not Vader time Vader.
Where's my mask? No.
I'm trying to keep this happy.
Yeah, just
As much as we can,
to.
yeah.
I can't.
As much as we can, yeah.
I'm 40 something year old. I'm not pretty when I cry, man. I did that all last night.
Yeah.
It said that was the introduction of Eddie to the world, which
Yes.
then brought from Temple to the Dog, and then out of the ashes of Mother Love Bone came Pearl
Pearl
Jam,
Jam. Yep.
and then it's like, okay, so then yeah, you had like, what did they call it? The Big Four. You had Soundgarden, Nirvana,
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains, and Stone Temple Pilots.
Mm-hmm.
There's one left.
That's Soundgarden, dude.
It's no
Oh, that's not
Eddie.
Soundgarden.
Eddie's
Oh,
left. Pearl Jam is, as far as lead
Yeah.
singers that have passed on.
Yeah.
We lost Scott Weiland
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
last year.
Yeah.
Lane
Staley.
Staley's been gone for
God,
I
I didn't even.
I can't remember how long now. It's
Oh
like
God,
10 plus
the 90s.
years.
Yeah. Late
Um,
90s.
And Chris is gone now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kurt.
I could throw Andrew Wood in there too, because they all did tributes to him, so they're all with him now in a sense.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But man, it's another gem I found today that I forgot. Alice in Chains Sap EP has a song, Right Turn, that
Love
has different vocals from different guys. Chris Cornell's vocals on there are just
Haunting.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Fucking it's his vocals will always be remembered as haunting. You know, I don't know. I mean, agree to disagree, Jason. That to me, this is like the death of John Lennon, and this is like the death of Tupac. You know, and this is for the rock era. You know, I mean, yeah, you mentioned Scott Weiland, you mentioned Lane Staley being gone, you mentioned Andrew Wood, you mentioned Kurt Cobain. You know, all we have left is Eddie Vedder. You know, and to me, this is like John Lennon being gone all over again.
I'll give you that for a grunge era. I'll give you that. What I get upset about, because okay, I look at bodies of work. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
give me a second here. Chris Cornell has been making music and being in bands since 1984.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
and he has put out umpteenth CDs with Soundgarden. He had a 5-year
Tons, yeah.
career with Autoslave. He put out at least 5+ solo CDs, numerous award nominations,
Mm-hmm.
yes, soundtrack editions, all of the above. He has an unbelievable body of work in the music industry, solo and with bands.
Mm-hmm.
To compare him to someone as great as, you know, like a legend like Lennon, for an era like the grunge era, I'll give you that. What I got upset at 20 plus years ago is like right after, excuse me, right after Kurt Cobain passed, people were calling him John Lennon. That upset me.
Yeah, it was too early to call him that.
Yeah, if Kurt Cobain put out a body of work like Chris Cornell did over the course of 20 to 30 years and did that much inspirational stuff, then I'll give that to him. But when Kurt Cobain passed, everybody was calling him the next John Lennon, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that ticked me off. You know, that I
wasn't
couldn't
right.
understand it. No, it wasn't, you know, and there were like major magazines that were calling him that too, and I'm like, no, you don't have the right to do that. Chris Cornell, I would give him a legendary title
Yeah.
because of the body of work that he has put out, man.
Let's talk about some of his Grammy awards with Soundgarden. Okay, he won a Best Metal Performance for Ultra Mega OK in '90. He won another Best Metal Performance for Bad Motorfinger. He won a Best Metal Performance. He was nominated. I'm sorry, these are all nominations. In '93, Into the Void, Stealth. But he won the award for Best Metal Performance for Spoon Man. and he won a Best Hard Rock Performance and Best Rock Song, was nominated for Black Hole Sun.
Yeah.
You know, and then he had Pretty Noose and Black Rain. I mean, these were just amazing. These were all great songs, you know, and it sucks. And you know, a lot of St. Louis people, a lot of St. Louisans and Midwesterns are pissed off, and not pissed off, but they're sad, they're heartbroken because Soundgarden was supposed to be in St. Louis this Saturday.
Oh, wow.
They were supposed to play at Point Fest in St. Louis, and now they've canceled Point Fest, and just everybody is just torn up about it. They're not pissed off, but they're just torn up about it, and because that would have been the last time he was even seen was in Detroit. You know, that's where he had his last performance with Soundgarden, and that's just. Oh.
Have you seen any of the footage from last night's concert?
No, I did not. No, but Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. Actually, you know what? Props to Dave Mustaine, man. And I'll tell you why. He was in. I think he was touring in Tokyo with Megadeth, and that's when the news came out. You know, the time changes and shit. But Mustaine, he was on stage, and he stopped the music, and he had the spotlight on him. And he said, man, Chris Cornell is dead. He's gone. And there was a heckler in the crowd after he said that he was going to sing Outshined. And there was a heckler in the crowd, and he told him, he's like, you know what, dude, shut the fuck up, you asshole. Get his ass out of here. Shut him up.
Yeah.
So major props to Dave Mustaine for doing that. It's hit the rock world pretty damn hard. I mean, it's I can't even, I know I compared it to John Lennon, but there's, Jerry Garcia. It's like losing the founding father of a genre.
Yeah.
It's like Jerry Garcia being gone. It's like John Lennon being gone. It's like Kurt Cobain being gone, and Scott Weiland and Lane Staley, dude. I cried when Lane Staley passed, And
yeah, that was one of the first big introductions to, people hearing about the word heroin.
Yeah.
I think, and it was like, because you hear about, suicides and cocaine and stuff, but in the 90s, then there was an influx of, whoa, what's heroin, and yeah, it started, yeah, man.
But, out of all of this, dude, there's one thing that we should be bringing awareness to, and that is suicide,
Yeah, and that's one of the most disturbing things of all this is that the news started trickling out earlier today when reports started coming out that he was found in the bathroom of his hotel room with a strap around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope, and I don't mean to say, no, they're lying about that. I just hope they do it diligence and investigate it properly, because everything leading up to after the concert, with the exception of questionable posts on social media.
See, I didn't see his posts.
What he posted, you can go on his Twitter and you can see him. The one he posted right before the concert says something about no more. It says hashtag no more bullshit, and that's kind of weird. I don't understand that. I don't know what his meaning was by that, but that was just kind of strange.
He had a new song called "The Promise," and
I just listened to that today. It's a beautiful song.
I haven't heard it yet. I want to listen to it. But yeah, his post or his tweet on Twitter said hashtag Detroit finally came back to Rock City at Soundgarden. # no more bullshit.
That's the post. That's his last post.
That was well, actually, yeah, that was his last post, and it's, oh God, man, I'm heartbroken, man.
It
This sucks.
none of it makes sense. That's what's the most upsetting about it. There was no like major warning signs. His wife, I don't think his wife has made an official statement yet, but she said in talking to him just before that, she saw no signs of this at all.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a family man, wife
Mm-hmm.
and beautiful kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know a lot of his past history. I don't know a lot of his demons. I heard something about alcohol abuse, and that's all I heard about. I didn't hear any other like major details. So I get that when people struggle, with diseases like that and stuff, or chemical imbalances. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy and it's sad.
Yeah. I'm kind of reading on his Wikipedia. Yeah, he did have an alcohol problem. He was actually, I didn't know this. He was first married to Susan Silver, and she was the manager of AIC and Soundgarden. I did not know that.
That's interesting. That probably goes way back.
Well, yeah, that was, I mean, they had their daughter in 2000, and then they divorced back in 2004. And, yeah, man, this sucks, man. Today it was hard for me to go to work and just be in a good mood.
Yeah.
I tried, but damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk music, you want to talk about one of the founding fathers of grunge, he is a pioneer. I can remember getting, my cousin letting me borrow the Super Unknown CD, and I just put it on repeat because that was my album. Once that song, "Don't Come Over Here and Piss on My Gate," My Wave. That is like my fucking jam, dude. My Wave. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is my jam.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's sad. If anything should come of this video, first should be if you don't know Chris Cornell, go listen to him. Go listen to Soundgarden. Go listen to his solo stuff. If you're not even a fan of Soundgarden, go listen to his solo stuff. Go listen to Zach Brown. Zach Brown Band. He was on a song. He was featured on a song on Zach Brown's latest album.
Oh, it was last year, wasn't it? That was like one of the biggest hits of the year.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the hell it is, but I know I heard it a million times on the radio.
God, what is it called? Hang on, I'm going to look that up.
Yeah,
but I mean, if let's see, Zach Brown, Chris Cornell.
Probably be one of the first things that pops up.
Heavy is the Head.
That's it. Yeah, that's
Heavy is the Head.
That's a great song.
In that song, dude. In that song, there is so much Soundgarden influence. So much.
Yeah.
And
what's unique about Chris is, he got lumped into the whole grunge thing and, being like, a forefather of that genre.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no one that sounded like him. Oh,
God, he had an amazing voice. Just an amazing voice. You have those artists out there that are, they are known for their vocals. Pearl Jam wouldn't be Pearl Jam without Eddie Vedder. Alice in Chains is not Alice in Chains without Lane Staley.
Yeah. There are
Nirvana is not
define their band.
Yeah.
The second
Foo Fighters.
5 bars, boom, you know who it is, you know what song it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Foo Fighters would not be Foo Fighters without Dave Grohl, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, Soundgarden is not Soundgarden without Chris Cornell,
Yeah.
you know, and
And
it's yeah.
and I can't even imagine what is that's one thing I've not heard from yet today, and I'm sure it's just out of being dumb from the fact of what happened. And
Yeah.
I'm sure the rest of the band will make a statement relatively soon.
I just wish
But
he would have spoke. I just wish he would have spoke up, dude. Just wish he would have spoke up and said something that was bothering him.
yeah, so like in when we talked about this last year around oh shoot. When was that? That was SummerSlam, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
we were raising money for to write Love on Our Arms.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
just now more than ever, if you man, if you're down and you need help, there is help out there.
Yeah.
Just say the word and there are people everywhere and anywhere to help you. Friends, neighbors, professionals on just
Mm-hmm.
one call away, and
Suicide hotline. Yeah.
yeah, and I've seen that shared a million times today on social media, and yeah, it's
It's hard. You know, it hits hard. You know, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but shit, it's fucking hard. You know, and it. I don't know. If anything, people should take away from this, it should be to, if you notice the signs, man, get help. You know, and
absolutely,
let Chris be the one of the. I mean, let's stop this. You know, let Chris be the reason to stop this shit.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
to fight it even harder,
yeah, definitely,
yeah,
definitely,
don't just pass something by like, oh, they'll be okay. No, reach out to them for crying out loud, because you
yeah.
you never know, you end up in a situation like this, and then you're kicking yourself for the rest of your life saying, if I could have been
I
that
should
one
have.
per yeah, exactly, if I could have been
Yeah,
that one person to reach out and stop something tragic.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, to kind of wrap it all up, man, go listen to Chris Cornell. You know, go listen to Soundgarden, go listen to the early work, go listen to the voice of Soundgarden.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
even Audio Slave. I forgot how good that was. I was listening to a few
yeah,
tunes today. Completely, woke up his career in a sense as well. I think it
yeah.
that was like
Tom Morello
that was a
and
serious breath of fresh air for all four of those guys.
mhm.
Big
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So yeah,
Any
sad
final
news,
thoughts
man.
before we wrap this up, bud?
Rest in peace, Chris Cornell, man. Fly high, brother. There will never be anybody like you.
Yeah, definitely one of a kind. Thanks, Dyzzy, for joining me on this. We'll see you guys down the road.
Thanks for having me.